If there's one show that would come on in the morning time and still scare the shit out of you, Teletubbies, bro.
Go ahead, let your f***ing neighborhood poisonous tarantula crawl all over you and bite on your neck. Go ahead.
Freaky.
They sneak into a girl's house to steal her underwear, only to discover that the girl is Mr. Krabs' mom.
That's crazy. They should have had him sniff it.
Ah, the fresh smell of woman.
Craziest cartoon episodes that were banned by Be Amazed.
Is there any better way to start a Saturday morning than with cartoons? But there are some episodes you aren't going to see on Nickelodeon or anywhere else. Yep, today we're taking a look at kids' TV episodes that proved too controversial for the small screen. From celebrity appearances that aged like milk, to adult content that should never have got past the censors, here are the craziest cartoon episodes that were banned.
Let's hear them, baby. Oh, that's a beautiful intro.
Porygon. In 1997, Pokemania was in full swing in Japan. While the rest of the world wouldn't get their first exposure to the anime TV series until the following year, it seemed the Pocket Monsters could do no wrong back home. That is, until the fateful day that the episode Electric Soldier Porygon aired. The episode itself was wholly uncontroversial. Ash and the gang find themselves battling the villainous Team Rocket inside cyberspace with the help of the artificial Pokemon Porygon.
Okay.
But then something happens which caused chaos across Japanese households. Near the end of the episode, some cyber missiles are launched at our heroes, which Pikachu heroically destroys using a thunderbolt attack. Only when the missiles are destroyed, rapidly flashing blue and red lights appear to mark the event.
Epilepsy.
In certain people, flashing strobe lights of a certain frequency can cause an excessive response from the brain, triggering epileptic seizures. And because of the frame rate of the TV show, the lights were at the perfect frequency for this.
They were
yes,
killing
this Pokemon episode wound up causing the hospitalization of over 600 kids. Many suffered full-blown seizures, while others reported seizure symptoms such as blindness, nausea, and convulsions.
Oh, wow.
And that's without mentioning the thousands of others with symptoms who didn't go to the hospital. Yeesh. The episode was never aired again, and never dubbed into English. This was obviously a stain on the brand, so the Pokemon Company needed to do something about it. Did they punish Pikachu for his actions? Pfft, not likely.
Did they pay out the people?
Instead, it was poor old Porygon that got
Damn!
The creature and its evolutions were never given a featured role in the series ever again.
It wasn't even his fault, though. Why did you take him out? He could have been a great Pokemon, bro. We could have just edited him a little bit. Maybe don't use those moves again. We could have edited him a little bit.
Over 1,000 episodes later, and Porygon is relegated to nothing more than occasional background appearances.
Damn, sorry,
all
Porygon.
to cover up the crimes of the Golden Child.
Pikachu.
Porygon did nothing wrong, and I, for one, am tired of pretending he did.
Pikachu's the one that we got to get rid of. That's who it is. You know what? I'm just going to say it. I don't even like Pikachu that much. I'm just going to say it. He's the one that's f***ed up. He's not even like... He's just Ash's little pet. Like, oh, I'm Pikachu. I never have to go on a Pokeball. Oh, I'm Pikachu. I get to hang out with humans all day. Oh, I'm Pikachu. I zap with my tail. Oh, I'm Pikachu. I get to cuddle in the bed with Ash. Who are you? Who are you? You think you're the coolest Pokemon around? You're not. You're not, bro. Right? Does he even ever evolve? Huh? Do you even ever evolve, Pikachu, or are you just bullshitting with Ash all day?
Dexter's dirty language. If you grew up in the 90s, I'm sure you're aware of how popular Cartoon Network's Dexter's Laboratory was. The show follows boy genius Dexter as he gets up to a whole load of science-y hijinks alongside his annoying sister Dee. But one particular adventure of theirs was deemed far too shocking for TV. I'm talking about the infamous Rude Removal. In this episode, Dexter invents the Rude Removal system, which splits him and his sister into two versions, one polite pair and one very impolite pair.
Sounds familiar.
The nasty doppelgangers are crude, aggressive, and foul-mouthed.
Let up, Ollie.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Crass
wow.
clones go on to smash up Dexter's lab, berate his mom, and even insult her cooking.
All right, sir. You had me until you're going after Dexter's mother. Dexter's mom was the best character in the show. Dexter's mom is the show. Without Dexter's mom, who is Dexter? Huh? She's what I'm watching the show for. I love seeing her in that kitchen. I love seeing her go grocery shopping. I was all for it. So what are you coming in for doing this? Out of pocket. I can't support that.
Jeez, that's a little much, huh? Well, but that implied language is something else, and that's exactly why the story got pulled from air. Cartoon Network thought that all the cursing was just too much. I mean, sure, it's definitely shocking, but it is censored, so personally I don't see the issue. Heck, SpongeBob did a similar episode a few years later, and it aired fine, although with some controversy.
It's on Nickelodeon, though. We know about Nickelodeon. I was gonna make the same comparison and say SpongeBob did it, but then I was like, saying it's on Nickelodeon is not gonna age well because we've seen some of this that they were letting fly. I'm never gonna forget about that Ariana Grande video. I'm never gonna forget about it, bro. Where she's just like it's not gonna escape my mind. There's like Nickelodeon is just different. Cartoon Network had a little bit more sense, which is why I think Cartoon Network is forever the better cartoon channel. Forever. Better than Disney XD, better than Nick, better than PBS. Unbeatable, bro. It had the best ones at all time.
Hi, Squidward. How the are ya?
Nice day, isn't it, Squidward?
But back to Dexter. If anything, the most shocking part of Rude removal is the title card, which shows Dexter mooning the camera and DuckyDee flipping at the bird.
Yeah, that is.
But what do you think? Was Rude
the title card is
worthy
crazy.
of being removed? Are censored swears still inappropriate for kids? Let me know down in the comments. Eight-legged freak.
What is this?
I don't like spiders. There's no way something should have that many legs.
Exactly.
But a lot of the time, spiders are nothing to fear. Something British children's cartoon Peppa Pig tried to convey in an episode from 2004
No, they're always
entitled
something to fear.
Mr. Skinny Legs, only it backfired. Hard. In the episode, Peppa befriends a spider. See, UK spiders are highly unlikely to bite. Even if they did, there aren't any deadly species in the country. But that's certainly not the case somewhere else the episode was aired. Australia.
I know it, bro. You can. Them niggas about to get kids killed out there, bro.
Go ahead. Let your f***ing neighborhood poisonous tarantula crawl all over you and bite on your neck.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You got me f***ed up. You got me. Who allowed that? You didn't. You had to think about that if that was a good idea, bro. Yeah, let's air this same one in Australia, bro. Come on, bro.
Encouraging Australian kids to play with the many highly venomous and sometimes deadly spiders in the country is reckless and irresponsible. What's more, the episode—
I just don't understand why live there, bro. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm standing up for this, but why do people live in Australia? Why not just move, bro? Think about it, bro. Think about it. Australia. I don't know if there's any Australians here, but why do you live there? What do you mean, where are they supposed to go? This is the world! You can go anywhere! Leave! Literally let all of the animals stay there. Let all the animals stay there. Everyone out. All right, disperse them everywhere. Scotland, Britain, Norway, Finland, Ireland, disperse them, bro. And just leave the animals there. Put all the animals there, all right? Then let them live in peace. And maybe put the criminals there too. Maybe put some criminals there too. They just gonna leave everything they built? Man, there's a house on every corner. There's a house on every corner, bro. It's a fact. Like, if your house gets burnt down, bro, it's shitty, for sure. It sucks. But there is a house on every corner, and maybe it's time for a restart. Maybe it's time. There isn't money in every tree, though. I see what you're saying. Maybe you just gotta find a better tree. Bro.
What's more, the episode even has Peppa playing with her arachnid friend and tucking it into bed. Just imagine a little rugrat watching this episode, then running outside, stumbling on a Sydney funnel web, one of the
come
deadliest in
inside.
the world. Sure enough, after receiving complaints from angry parents, the episode was pulled off air and axed online. Makes sense.
Good idea.
The last thing you want to do is encourage kids to get in danger. But I'm going to encourage some fantastic behavior and tell you to like and subscribe. That way, you'll never miss out on more awesome videos like this one. All done? Nice. Let's get back to more.
Good idea. Like, subscribe, follow the Twitch, check out the socials.
Banned in China.
Banned? Like banned?
South Park is no stranger to controversy. Its crude and often offensive humor spares nobody. Naturally, this has led to the show getting a ton of flack, perhaps most notably from the Chinese government.
Oh,
that's right.
Stop being
the episode Banned in China aired in 2019 and took aim at the country's penchant for censorship. In it, one of the main characters, Randy Marsh, is arrested and subjected to communist re-education alongside Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be kind of tight too.
See, hilariously, Winnie is censored across Chinese social media after jokes were made comparing the friendly bear to the country's president, Xi Jinping. Jinping, as you can gather, is a sensitive man, and this episode shines a light on the awful way China treats its citizens, makes fun of its censorship laws, and heavily features a banned character in it. So, is it any surprise that it was banned in China? No, it's not. But things went even further. The episode was ultimately responsible for South Park being entirely scrubbed from the country. Seriously, online, every mention of the series was removed. Episodes were taken down, forums were closed, and social media posts were hidden.
That makes sense.
Such a draconian response is par for the course in China's heavily controlled
for sure,
society.
but we know.
So frankly, it's surprising South Park survived there as long as it did.
You went overboard with the Winnie the Pooh, right? Like, I mean, obviously you knew it was banned there. I feel like everyone knew it was banned there, but you know what you were doing, man. You know what you were doing. You wanted to get banned in China. You wanted to. Like, we know how they are over there, man. They don't allow shit. They might don't they block certain apps over there? Don't they block certain apps? I feel like they do. South Park has a lot of racist stuff, but that's what it's built on, bro. South Park, Family Guy, it's kind of just a vibe. Not really trying to hurt anybody, it's just trying to be funny. I feel like they block apps, bro. I don't know what didn't they block Facebook? Yeah, they have their own apps.
Bad. The Simpsons is the longest-running animated series of all time, and as such, has been no stranger to controversy. But one episode of the hit sitcom was entirely unproblematic the day it aired in 1991, only to be banned outright later, in 2019. The episode is called Stark Raving Dad. So, what's the sitch? Well, in it, Homer gets sent to a mental institution where he meets Leon Kompowski, a man who believes he's the king of pop, Michael Jackson. Hilarity ensues, and to make the scene funnier, Leon was actually voiced by Jackson. Surprise.
Oh, wow. I'm a very popular entertainer.
Oh, of course I've heard of you. I mean, you'd have to be living under a rock not to know. What'd you say your name was?
Michael Jackson.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, have you heard of MTV?
Nope.
Motown?
No.
Beat It.
You beat it.
The episode was actually one of the more popular ones, but in 2019, everything changed. The documentary Leaving Neverland was released, which took a extremely critical view of MJ and reignited some nasty allegations. If you know, you know.
You know.
After watching the doc, the brains behind The Simpsons opted to completely remove Stark Raving Dad from circulation. It was omitted from Disney+, axed from all the box sets going forward, and pulled from rerun schedules indefinitely. This seems like a cut-and-dry business decision to avoid association with controversy, but there may well have been something more to it. After finishing the documentary, Simpsons showrunner Al Jean came to the belief that Jackson used his appearance on the show as a tool to groom victims. There's no outright proof of this, but Jean's steadfast
That's a crazy allegation!
stands by the decision to erase the episode from existence. A decision which proved almost as controversial as the original Jacko controversy. The beloved episode's banishment was bemoaned by fans, with some viewing it as totally unnecessary. Others expressed the importance of preserving media as a form of history, rather than erasing it. Then again, if Gene was onto something, then maybe it was the right choice to jettison Jackson's episode. It's all so complicated. If we were discussing whether we should ban any modern Simpsons episodes, I'm sure we'd all be in agreement. All of them.
I heard someone say, I saw someone in the chat say it's all fake. Look, man, I'm not saying he did it, right? I'm not there. Nobody was there except him and those kids. Let's say he didn't do anything. It's still weird activity to have kids at your house having sleepovers with kids. Like, there's no other way you can put that. Like, I don't know what the you want me to say, but that's just weird activity. Like, I don't care who you are. It's like, yeah, invite all these over my house. They can have play dates with me and hang out and play with what blocks? I don't know what the like, bro. Come on. Like, whether you believe it or not, you have to admit that that's weird.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Trauma.
No, not
Teenage
TMNT.
Mutant Ninja Turtles is awesome. Its kick-butt action and dynamite storytelling have improved many a childhood, although it nearly ruined a fair few too. See, the 2003 version of the show featured an episode called Insane in the Membrane. The episode follows an injured villain named Stockman, who clones himself a new body to inhabit. Only things go horribly wrong when it begins to rapidly decay, both physically and mentally. What follows is a horror movie-esque nightmare where the rotting madman rampages around the city, attempting to destroy the turtle's ally, April O'Neil, all while hallucinating his dearly departed mother.
You were such a good boy. You had so much potential. What happened to you, baby doll?
That's not just terrifying, but also pretty heartbreaking. When the staff at Fox Broadcast Standards and Practices looked at the finished episode, they were apparently horrified at what they saw. The gruesome subject matter and scary visuals led them to lock the episode away from children's eyes.
I can understand
I gotta
that.
say, I might agree with them.
It does
on this
look kind of
one.
creepy.
Kids are
as a kid, at
impressionable,
least.
and seeing some of the disturbing stuff on display here could easily cause some sleepless nights. That said, the episode...
Any scarier than Courage the Cowardly Dog, though? Like, it's your right to not want to put up it's your show, you get to make the rules, but I'm just gonna say, bro, Courage the Cowardly Dog had some ones on it, bro. Had some ones on it, man. And if that can go on TV, yeah, with a little bit of zombie action.
Released in the UK and appeared on the US DVD release, too. It wouldn't be aired on American TV until 2015, though. There's no word on what exactly caused Fox to change their minds or how many kids were upset after watching it, but it would have taken me a long time to recover. Beer babies. If you're a living fossil, you might remember the public service announcements from the 1980s kids' cartoons. For everyone else, they were short sections aired after an episode to heavy-handedly explain the morals of the story.
We'll tell her we did it.
Remember, it's better to tell the truth.
And that's no lie. Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
What is this? Oh, G.I. Joe.
Cool. By the 90s, they'd largely gone out of style, with one infamous exception. 1991's Tiny Toons Adventures episode Elephant Issues. Rather than a normal episode with a PSA at the end, the WB network decided to make the whole episode the PSA, to disastrous effect. Elephant Issues is composed of 3 segments, with one in particular, One Beer, really catching the ire of the censors. Can you guess why? That's right, One Beer is all about booze.
You mean... that's beer.
Wow. I think you can see where this is going.
Yeah,
the
we don't
idea
want kids to
was,
see
by
that.
showing everyone's beloved childhood characters getting absolutely off their
Wasted.
faces, it would demonstrate the evils of alcohol to kids. So after arguing who should drink first, it's finally settled on Buster.
All right. Bottoms up.
Given that the characters in the show are all kids themselves, you can clearly see the issue here.
For sure.
Anyway, after they all down the brew, this happens.
I had it. That's not a very good sign.
Oh.
Yep, they drunkenly steal
That's
a
an
police
app.
car,
That's
drive
an
it
app
off a
right there.
cliff,
Yeah, that's
and,
an app.
put it this way, aren't seen driving it back.
Oh,
What?
they
The
died.
shocking and upsetting content of the segment caused the whole episode to be removed from syndication in the US, and it's since gone down as one of the most well-known banned cartoons ever. Or at least that's what people say. Turns out, this is a job for
Buzzkill Man.
I'm sorry, but this story is nowhere near as dramatic as people believe, because guess what? The episode was never actually banned at all.
Huh?
What? YouTuber Paparina did some serious sleuthing and not only uncovered a commercial for the episode, but also several TV guide listings up until 1997, a full 6 years after
They've
its
been
first
sneaking it in!
So what gives? Well, the evidence says it all. We can't be sure when or why. But someone made the whole drama up, and it spread online like wildfire. Well, that's disappointing. Thanks a lot, Buzzkill Man. Regardless, I think this episode
Still is a
did
crazy
do its
episode
job.
for kids, though.
After watching it, I'm going teetotal.
I guess so. Like, if you're a kid and you see your favorite characters getting fucked up and driving off a cliff and dying, yeah, you might be like, nah, I'm not gonna drink. That makes sense. Nah, it makes sense if you think about it. It's like, yeah, that. Staying away. Staying away.
Totally inappropriate. Rocco's Modern Life is one of Nickelodeon's all-time greats. One of the reasons for its massive popularity is its penchant for adult humor, something that would get its creators in serious trouble back in 1993. Enter Leapfrogs, an episode where main character Australian wallaby Rocco is seduced by his married neighbor.
Yoo-hoo, Rocco.
Hey,
Could you come
baby.
upstairs for a moment, please, dear?
I want to show you something.
Would you zip me up, darling?
Okay. Essentially, his neighbor, the toad Bev Bighead, feels neglected by her husband, and so sets her eyes on Rocco. What follows is a series of incredibly awkward sequences where she makes Rocco and us super uncomfortable.
Oh boy, documentary. Yes, why don't you join me?
Rocco, you sure you can handle all that? The mating thing. What?
So-
Wait, what? I missed that. The mating habits of cane toads. Born?
So straight away, this is some pretty edgy content.
We
for
about to watch
children.
some together?
So much so that parents went ballistic after catching their kids watching it. In fact, the episode drew so many complaints that Nick pulled it from air entirely.
Typical
Given
Nick.
the premise, I kinda understand the parents' objections. Heck, maybe it did deserve the axe. I don't know how much of the adult stuff kids would understand though, so I'm not sure I agree. What do you think? Did this episode need to be banned, or were people too sensitive? Let me know down in the comments.
It was kind of freaky. Nick is known for freaky, huh? Nick is known for freaky, so for that channel it works. They should have just left it, kept it. If your kid is watching Nick, he's already consuming a lot of feet stuff, you know? He's already seeing weird scenes. He's fine, dude.
Poke poaching. Once more, we venture into the world of Pokemon. Once more, we're in for something decidedly less kid-friendly than parents expected. 1997's The Legend of Dratini follows Ash and pals as they enter the Safari Zone, a massive Pokemon preserve. What follows sounds like standard Pokemon fare. The gang catch a bunch of monsters, face off against the dastardly Team Rocket, and ultimately save the titular Dratini from their clutches. But wait, what's so egregious about that? Well, this episode has guns in it. A lot of guns. Now, guns do feature in other Pokemon episodes, but fleetingly, or in a very over-the-top fashion. But in this episode, characters are threatened at gunpoint on 7 different occasions. Too many for them to all be censored in a global release. Heck, at one point, Ash even gets a revolver pointed directly in his face. That's right. Perhaps unsurprisingly, The
Kinda
Legend of
wild for a
Dratini
cartoon, I ain't
never
gonna
got an
lie.
English dub and was never released outside of Japan. However, this created a pretty big plot hole for
That's
global
normal
viewers.
anime type
See,
shit, for real.
Ash captures 30 Tauros
But I
in the
guess
Safari
Pokemon
Zone.
is super family friendly. Because like in anime, that's normal, right? That's normal anime type shit. Normal guns in your face, normal knife to your throat. Like niggas even die. Like, I don't understand. I didn't understand like this. I guess they just wanted the show to be family friendly, you know?
Tauros in the Safari Zone. So when he visits them all in a later episode, it left a lot of kids confused about where the heck they'd come from. What's more, the unaired episode was the anime debut of Dratini, and because of its removal, people outside of Japan wouldn't get to see the creature in the show for another 200+ episodes. Fortunately, no one aims an AR-15 at anyone when Dratini does show back up. Nice.
Nice.
Creepy crabs. Some cartoon episodes were perfectly fine when they were released, only to be hit with a ban decades later. Enter the 2002 SpongeBob SquarePants episode, Midlife Crustacean. In it, Mr. Krabs feels his age and is desperate to recapture his youth, so he tags along with SpongeBob and Patrick on their big night out. It turns out to be a disappointing affair, though, until he hears about the last activity they have planned.
I guess you're gonna miss the panty raid.
What? Huh?
You're talking about girls, right? Girls?
What are we about to get into?
Yeah. And you're talking about raiding their dressers for their underpants, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, so sure enough, they sneak into a girl's house to steal her underwear, only to discover that the girl is Mr. Krabs' mom.
That's crazy.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, for decades the episode aired in the US until 2021, when Nickelodeon announced they'd made the decision to pull it from broadcast, as well as streaming services in the country. The networks...
They should have had him sniff it. That shit would have been hilarious, I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting a little bit too far down the Nickelodeon, the Freakolodian rabbit hole, but it would have made sense on Nickelodeon. He would have just gave a little sniff like, the fresh smell of woman. Right? The fresh smell of woman.
The network cited storyline concerns as the reason, but never elaborated. But come on, we all know what the issue was. Why the heck do SpongeBob and Patrick want to steal girls' underwear? It's totally out of character for these two goofy goobers to even consider something like that. So I can understand Nick's thought process in ultimately choosing to can it. Having said that, the show's had way more adult jokes in different episodes.
Freaking leaky.
Yep, that went straight over Little Amazed's head the first time I watched it. Regardless of what I think, Midlife Crustacean is still banned in the US today. Does this whole episode really deserve a ban? Or is the controversy just a load of... New York, New York. We're heading back to the town of Springfield now, but not for long, because our favorite cartoon family are off to New York. In the 1997 episode, The City of New York versus Homer Simpson, the family must travel to the Big Apple to retrieve the family car. But after the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center, the episode was pulled from air. See, the car is abandoned outside the Twin Towers, so a huge portion of the runtime takes place there. After the tragedy, the decision was made to take it from syndication, for obvious reasons. The ban was eventually lifted in 2006, although reruns would still occasionally have some content removed. Notably, a joke in the episode that, quote, they stick all the jerks in Tower 1 has been sporadically cut in certain regions. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Bans and edits like this one were commonplace in the years following the devastating attacks. Oh, one more thing about the episode. It's commonly cited as predicting the attacks themselves, with this travel ad that appears to read 9/11. It didn't. $9 was chosen as the price because it was ridiculously cheap, and the Twin Towers were simply shown to advertise the city's landmarks. There, enjoy a little bonus simply shown to advertise the city.
Are you sure? A lot of things are cheap, bro. $8 would have been cheap too. 7, 6, 3, 4, 5. Like, what do you mean? It could have been 4. I don't know. I don't believe that theory, man. I believe they knew. I believe they knew. No, like, it's just, no, that's not a good enough reason.
Enjoy a little bonus from Buzzkill Man.
Fuck you, Buzzkill Man.
Tired of your shit. Okay,
oh my God, Teletubbies, bro. Them niggas a nightmare. Them niggas need their own analog cord. Teletubbies, bro. If there's one show that you could like, that would come on in the morning time and still scare the shit out of you, Teletubbies, bro. That show was different. I don't know why they thought kids should be watching these overgrown human dolls, not even talking, just making noise and jumping up and down. It's like, no. That it is fucking. That whole thing should have been pulled. That whole thing, dude. Should have been pulled. Pulled the fuck out.
Okay, so these next two aren't technically cartoons, but they're so wild I had to include them. The BBC Kids show Teletubbies is a surreal jaunt through a psychedelic world with the titular Tubbies. Episodes featured so-called
these niggas just high. Oh my God!
In 1997's Seesaw, the magical event proved
That's
so
it.
terrifying it led to the episode's ban. Enter the Lion and the Bear.
Wait. So we're POV, we're high, and we're now in this weird psychedelic world. Oh my God. It all makes sense now. Because we're the cameraman. We're high as We smoke like 3 blunts in 15 minutes.
The episode starts as normal, then suddenly this happens.
I'm the bear, I'm the bear, and I'm coming.
Bro, it's just
and
not.
Things only get
I don't.
more unsettling.
I just don't like it, bro. Even at this age, bro.
Ugh. The thing is utterly freaky for reasons I'm not entirely sure of, but what it was hiding from gives me the heebie-jeebies even more.
But what is this, bro?
I am the scary lion.
Like, what is this, bro? Like, who the f signed off on this, bro?
It's even more uncanny than the bear. Then the lion gives chase. It just feels wrong. And that's probably the best way to describe the entire sequence. The stressful music, the uncanny wooden cutouts, they just don't belong in Teletubbies. Parents complained at
Teletubbies don't belong on
BBC pulled
TV.
the episode, but the damage was already done. I know I had recurring nightmares of these SCP-looking terrors anyway. And then, a few years later, an edit...
We're not gonna act like these faces are just normal, bro. Like, dude, no. And what's worse, bro? As a kid, because Teletubbies used to come on so much, my grandma thought I liked it because I didn't know how to change the TV channel yet. She thought I liked it because she'd put the TV on, it'd be the only thing on all the time, so she'd buy me fucking Teletubby toys. So I just had these creepy ass dolls around me, and I'm like, bro, no, I don't want this. I don't want anything about it, bro.
A few years later, an edited version of this sequence was aired on TV. This version had altered vocal performance, cut shots, and added artificial sound effects like squeaking wheels to tone down the uncanniness.
Where's the bear?
It does look like a weird scene, I ain't gonna lie.
Where's the bear?
I can see it being creepy.
It's, a bit better, but I still never want to see one of those two knuckleheads ever again. If I just triggered your PTSD, let me know down in the comments. We can comfort each other. Newtmares. As spine-chilling as the wooden terrors from the Teletubbies are, there's another kid's show that gave me even worse nightmares. Pingu. Yes, the show about the little penguin. In the 1991 episode Pingu's Dream, we follow Pingu on a trip to Snoozeville. His dream starts off innocently enough with him riding his bed around a barren landscape. He's having a great time, and
gives me Shaun the Sheep vibes.
Well,
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
this thing is supposed to be a walrus, only it's huge, has no tusks, and sports an unnerving set of human teeth. It torments Pingu and laughs maniacally at his suffering.
Alright, eating my bed is crazy, big guy. We gotta fight. Pingu, don't tolerate that.
I don't even need to tell you the problem with this episode. The walrus was deemed far too chilling for kids' TV, and the ep was banned in several countries, including the UK. Good frickin' riddance. But if you thought that was the only controversial part of Pingu, oh boy, you've seen nothing yet.
There's
There's
more?
actually a whole slew of banned or censored episodes from the show. Probably the most outrageous is Little Accidents, a 1990 story about Pingu and friends going to the bathroom. Yeah, it's as weird as it sounds. Essentially, after Pingu drinks way too much, he desperately needs to pee, but shock horror, he can't reach the toilet. With no other option, our penguin pal does the unthinkable.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
What was the
Jeez, from the color of that pink.
Nah, it looks weird. I'm not gonna lie. It does look fucking crazy for a kid's show, dog. The way that pee is coming out looks like it'd be, I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to put my finger on it.
From the color of that, Pingu still needs to drink more water.
Facts.
The focus on all that urine caused the episode to be banned in a heap of countries, including the USA. But if you ask me, the craziest thing is someone's actual job was to create and animate Pingu doing a massive leak out of clay. For shame. And on that particularly smelly note, I've had just about enough of these banned cartoons.
Low-key kind of impressive making pee out of clay. You ain't even wrong. Thinking about it now, that is impressive.